Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nocta and this is Disco Elysium. So, who are you, big guy?
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the arbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot and oddly screechy for a man his size. What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
He's a full head taller than everybody else here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Okay, then I'm thinking, no.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
I like his voice. What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases.
I don't think I have chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scott.
The loitering man holds a return. What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. This man is in shape. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Who are all these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
The man runs a hand through his steady grey military haircut.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you are unable to reach the entrance.
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open, and try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Oh, I know who he is talking about.
Yeah? That giant up there. On the bridge you talk to. Head measurer. Won't let the workers by. The access panel is right behind him.
How bad could one guy be? You seem capable.
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
Why don't we just talk to them?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
Odd, out-of-place colonial reference there, Mr. Scab Leader.
Yeah, that was extremely odd.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
The man rubs his jaw, a perfect, lightly bearded square wedge. Okay, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Deep set suspicion drips from every syllable. I thought you looked real familiar for a second there.
No. Don't think we've met before. I
Is
came
that-
to help out people.
Oh! Already got that, I'm interested in your background.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
Sweet, I know bars, been thrown out from several. Maybe that's why you seem familiar.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
I think I've been there. Not right now, but I might have been there. I don't really remember things well.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
The man quickly losing interest in talking to you.
What's it to you? No. We're all
Try again.
workers, right? Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
I think I've been there.
Uh-huh. It was a
Oh,
long time ago.
fuck. Okay, I'm just gonna leave. I think we should investigate the whole drug deal with Sealang.
Scab?
As a man with jolly eyes tilting his head.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses.
Where did they all come from?
Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think.
You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess scared, maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mask, squinting his eyes as if trying to ascertain what they are scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
Big guy. He means the leader of the scabs.
I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop Scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
I'm a bit short on money. I come to Martin is investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
You're right, it's almost impossible. I'm 91% sure I will never get it solved. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's okay. I have no idea what I'm doing either. I don't even know what day it is.
He
Don't
thinks
tell
and
me.
decides.
It's a better day that way.
What's the strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Nice talk, gotta get moving. Okay. I wanted to investigate the drugs, but this is getting more interesting. No one is here, okay. Hey, Makerhead, I would like to talk to your boss.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Know anything about it?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it. Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
Why are you not with the Hardy Boys?
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
There's more to it. What have you got against them?
Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful.
What do you mean?
Find out for yourself, endomorphic blob.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Okay. Let's leave then. We got some new information and that's more than enough, honestly. Come on stairs, work with me. There. And I'm not even drunk. Let's see Sileng. I'm unsure if he is the dealer.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The street vendor assures you. So, Sileng, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
I'm super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
I actually don't like drugs.
That's cool. Especially after you already said you're into them. All the coolest detectives in the movies do drugs. And are very conflicted about it. Still, no drugs here.
We are looking for a lorry driver who is transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
But you're a lorry man. Another driver has identified you and you're a lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
I can believe that.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
He stops to think.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
So you forgot to tell me.
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Sileng, my source tells me you are the one transporting drugs for the Union. Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
You're wasting my time. Tell me who the fuck is transporting the drugs here? It wasn't some drug crowd. You know who they are. Tell me now.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
If you don't want to get into this mess, raise your voice. You have to give us a reason to move on. Your body is Silang. Help us out. No one will know it was you.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver.
Okay.
You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
He points nose.
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Dazed out strange.
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
It could be. She was strange.
Yeah.
He's not ruling her out.
Okay, we are cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detectives. Both of you. You deserve it.
I mean... Yeah, we deserve it.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep...
Okay. Let's talk with the woman then. I believe we are getting somewhere. Or maybe going in circles. It's a bit hard to tell sometimes.
Make way for the master poet.
I heard that one of the drivers is a woman, but I don't think she's here. Do you know this lady driver?
I don't want to talk about that.
Ooh, he shifts around suddenly uncomfortable, then looks away. I don't mean to pry, but I need your help. You may be involved with the drug business.
Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is.
Who is this person? What's her name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now I see why.
Who is she to you?
A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
Makes sense. What does she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Yeah. I asked you who's conducting the drug trade. You said you didn't know. Now you're saying you do.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't be mixed up in it.
It's true. We would of course a lie. But a kind heart is tricky. Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
When did she leave?
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
Believe us, it really is.
I just can't, man. I'm not naive.
Makes sense. You said she's troubled. How?
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
I was told everyone's afraid of her. You're not.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
Hold on, her mind?
The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out. Push Tommy and it will break his heart. And his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
So you're alright with others ratting her out, you just don't want your hands dirty? Put yourself in my shoes, I need this for another investigation too. It's important I can't know it. She's a suspect and I need you to tell me where she is, or I can finish the investigation. Put yourself in my shoes.
You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
Imagine it. An explosion. Of stars. Goodbye world of men, money, and machines.
So you're alright with others ratting her out.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too.
I will drop the metaphor now.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up smoking again. Would help with my rhymes too.
That's all for now. Thank you. Okay. Maybe we can pressure someone else.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I know you've been giving me the runaround. Fess up, where's the lady driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then why are you smirking?
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
Actually, we do.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
A legendary, and not in a good way, crime boss from Jamrock. Controls what is probably the most powerful organized crime outfit in Revachol West. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
The moment the lorryman is silent. Cross your arms and nod.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
The lieutenant adopts a rodentine quality. Be cool, sire. He's getting into this.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
Maybe we would.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
He's surprisingly good at this. Not bad at all. Look at him lurching.
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorryman and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
He tries to light a fresh cigarette, but his hands are shaking now. The sentence simply ends.
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
Oh, fuck. Can I increase my stats? Oh, please, please.
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
Why don't you and me step outside for a little talk?
What? What do you think we're doing right now, Runt? We're outside talking.
Fuck. Damn it, I meant, do you want to find someplace private to no shit?
There's some kind of homo thing?
Yeah, maybe it is.
Okay, that's enough, detective. That's enough. Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
We are done for now. Yeah, these guys are annoying. Ooh, what is that?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine.
Look in the
The
window.
windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
What kind of stickers?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
What about the backseat?
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains. A book with ragged edges catches your notice. The front cover features a large, muscular man. The title reads, Man from Eamdal in the Lost City of the Pygmies.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy.
Okay. So this lorry belongs to the tough guy.
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
A lorry stuck.
Okay. Is there anything here we could use? No. Does not seem like it, at least.
The woman is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing in particular.
Snap your fingers.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
Oh, are you the lady driver?
Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I was told of a woman driver. You are the only woman here.
I'm not that either, Herife. I've gone too far from it all to remember what was between my legs. It doesn't work like that on the long haul.
So you are not the driver everyone is terrified of.
I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me.
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Why are you scared to the people who used to know you?
Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was.
You said long haul. That's...
The big ones, the trucks. There's no women and men there. It's all just...
She hums along as if to a track on repeat.
In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly motorway. It takes all the people where they want to stay.
In the background, a quiet song seeps from her cabin into the air. You don't hear any vocals.
And who is the female driver I was told of?
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other commoners sniffing around when I have my movies to go to?
That's all I need to know. Thanks.
Oh, Sim.
Thank you for now. Fuck. We're running out of options.
An old monument
I really don't wanna press Tommy. What was his name? I really don't want to press him. Or maybe I can just ice this whole case for now. And talk to the woman instead. Or I can go and buy some books. I don't have enough money.
The dented
For the
yellow
rented away.
mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front.
Closed, makes sense. The book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica.
Hello again, officer.
I want to... Wait. Can I open this?
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
This is the police, open up the door.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
Please let me inside, it's cold out here.
No, I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
She trails off, leaving the sentence
Backyard
unfinished.
door. There must be another entrance to the east.
Can you tell her we are real policemen?
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply. Just faint, sweeping sounds inside.
Okay. This failed. That might be where our leader is hiding.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What is?
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What word is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
The word needs a term of endearment.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
And what is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like I have got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside sideways? What shape is this word then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
Oh.
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait. What the hell are you telling me? The pale? What do you mean, corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness.
Oh.
I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together. However naive it may sound.
A fractured colon doesn't feel like it's gonna bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
I don't care about disco, I only care about the commune. Doesn't sound like any kind of disco I would like to go to.
But you already have. And you're doing just fine, despite the rubble.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
You said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. Remember, we have a cadaver to attend to.
His voice is low, but firm. All she can say is,
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I don't want to. I want to know what the pale is.
I don't think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world. Anything.
you could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here. Unless you can convince him to step aside.
Ask for him to step away while you discuss the pale. Ooh, he trusts me!
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim, can I talk to the man alone for a sec?
Fine.
He steps away.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Now, what is the pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what is the pale?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
And what is an isla?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Windy, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Island is?
An oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
And what is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
So it's kind of space, but not really. It's like a void.
The negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being.
She tightens her hood around her neck. It's cold outside. Is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the end of the world.
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And there?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
There's a slippery article in there.
Is it the Pale or Pale?
Pale when it's particular, this territory of Pale. The Pale when it's Pale in its entirety. Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
If you're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us. It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path.
This sounds crazy so far.
But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
The Pale can damage your mind.
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter.
Wait, so whenever I fainted, maybe I was in the Pale.
They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You are not a civilian passenger.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Holy shit.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says. That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
What is anthroponetic?
Entreprenetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super Isola. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
What has anthroponetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft.
Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
If we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
How much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
How? To our detriment or?
What do you think, detective?
It's shrinking, there is more and more of the world. It's growing, there's more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
But where would they go then?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild Pale yonder.
One and all. They say Pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective.
Oh?
Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I sometimes sense vague shadows of past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
It's terrifying, you were right, it's disco, it will end our life. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate total ruthless communism. The powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say, it doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you have all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Who am I to think anything of it? Rise stands, crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
It will be a fucking disaster, I know it, all those people will die. This investigation will be my masterpiece, the one they remember me by, I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
That was fucking insane, Kim.
Yes, well, the rest of us have dealt with it for thousands of years, so...
He looks around a little uncomfortable now.
You will have to deal with it, too, the lieutenant thinks. This is why I didn't want you to know.
Right. Actually, some more lowdown.
I am happy to oblige.
Never mind.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
I spoke with the logman at the roundabout.
Word has travelled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather. Wild Pines has eyes on the intersection, but not ears.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout. It would give them a read on the entire quarter.
It appears we are being monitored every step we take, colleague. Did we have any other business here?
Thank you, that's all for now. Alright. We learned the insanity of this reality. And wow. I did not see it coming, I just assumed it's normal. Planet, stuff like that. Not pale everywhere and all these confusing mess. Ooh, what did I need? Composure, I think? Where is it? Oh, there. I think I needed this, yeah, for something. Okay. Anyway, that was all for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we will continue from here next time. Oh, what is that? Balcony with a view to the yard and the hanging. Okay, so... Oh, what is that? Bomb hat. No, nose fed. Ooh, what's that? Okay, anyway, bye.